Hi there, you guys. Today we are going to be starting on page 203. Um, tr- yep, 203. Troubles for the new Constitution. Or, sorry, troubles for the new government. So, we just learned about the Articles of Confederation and some of the limits or problems there were with the Articles of Confederation. All right, so let's keep going. After the Revolutionary War, the new country faced many problems. Congress had borrowed large amounts of money to pay for the war. Now it was unable to collect taxes to repay those debts. Many state governments also had large debt. To pay off this debt, they increased taxes. Many people and businesses could not afford to pay these taxes and went into debt. Because Congress could not regulate trade, each state made their own trade laws. Some states taxed goods that came from other states and countries. Supplies and goods became more expensive and people went deeper into debt. So, up here in our chart, we learned that the national government did not have any power when it came to managing trade. Okay? They also did not have a way to raise money through taxes. So these limitations that the government had were a problem when it came to trying to pay off debts. So there was debt or money that the government, the nation owed to fighting off the war, and there was also money that the states owed or debt the states owed due to fighting of the war. Okay? And they tried coming up with solutions, but all their solutions did was make people be even further in debt or owe even more money, make supplies even more expensive, and it just was a downhill spiral. Violence erupts. When people couldn't pay their debts, they were thrown in jail. Daniel Shays was a military officer in the Revolutionary War. He was now a farmer who was deep in debt. Shays urged others to rebel. He led a group of armed men across western Massachusetts. They closed courthouses and broke into jails to free debtors. Shays then attacked a federal arsenal and storage area for weapons. Shays' rebellion was quickly stopped by the state militia. However, the rebellion showed many people that the Articles had failed. Wealthy Americans wanted a national government strong enough to protect their property. Farmers wanted a government that could issue paper money that had value. All right, so we have a friend named Daniel Shay. Mr. Daniel Shay was previously a military officer for the Revolutionary War, but now he currently is a farmer who was in debt. He owed money. He encouraged others to rebel against people being thrown into jail for owing money or for their debts. So he led a group of armed men across western Massachusetts. This group closed courthouses and broke into jails to free the debtors who were jailed. Okay? They also attacked a federal arsenal. An arsenal is an area that stores weapons. This was known as Shays' Rebellion. Okay? So Shays' Rebellion was stopped by Massachusetts militia. But it also showed people and opened their eyes to that maybe the Articles of Confederation aren't working and we need to look into something different. Okay? So why did Shay rebel? Why did Daniel Shay rebel? Daniel Shay rebelled because he was wanting to free the debtors who were put in prison. Okay? So Daniel Shay rebelled. Oopsie. Daniel Shay rebelled because he wanted to free the debtors. Sorry. Okay. Why did people think they needed a new government after the rebellion? They realized that the government could not provide protection for their property and the money that they needed. Okay, so the people realized they needed a new government because the government they had in place at that moment, the Articles of Confederation, was not providing protection of their property or providing them the money that was needed to free everybody from the debt that was caused due to the war. The Northwest Ordinance. Overall, the articles were not working, but they did have one lasting success. So they had one thing that was successful. Congress was able to set up land policies for expanding the country. Many Americans wanted to move west of the Appalachians to search for new land and opportunities. To provide land for these settlers, the Confederation Congress passed the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. This plan created the Northwest Territory out of land north of the Ohio River and east of the Mississippi River. Settlers poured into the Northwest Territory. They eventually carved out 5 states under the Northwest Ordinance: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Okay, so there was one thing the Articles got right. And the one thing the Articles of Confederation got right was they were able to set up land policies for expanding the country. So they had policies in place or rules in place that made it where Americans could expand and create new states. They were able to move west of the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. To provide land for the settlers, the Confederation Congress passed the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. So what allowed people to move out and develop new states and go to the new lands was the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. Okay, it created the Northwest Territory out of the land north of the Ohio River and east of the Mississippi River. We received 5 new states from that: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Okay, so map and global skills. Number 1, shade the original 13 colonies green and add shading to the map key. I've already done this, so I can't shade really well on the computer, so I just highlighted the name of the states in green. So starting from the south going north, we have Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Okay, those were the 13 original colonies. Now in orange, we are supposed to shade or color the states that were settled under the Northwest Ordinance. So we just learned we had Ohio, get orange. We had Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Don't forget to color your map key. Okay? Number 3, finish the sentence. The Northwest Ordinance was significant because it blanked the territory of the United States. So the Northwest Ordinance increased the territory of the United States. So it allowed us to have more land. Number 4, what impact do you think the Northwest Ordinance had on the country? This is your personal opinion. So in this space right here, I want you to tell me what impact do you think the Northwest Ordinance had on our country? Did it make things happen, make good things happen, make bad things happen? Was there positive reactions, negative reactions? Tell me what you think right here on number 4. Okay, calls for change. The founders came to the conclusion or the realization that the articles had failed, but what should they do about that? This was an urgent matter indeed. Violence had already become a reality and more violence could be on the way. Many Americans called for the Articles of Confederation to change. A few members of Congress called a special meeting to decide what to do. All right, so they realized that the Articles of Confederation are not working. They need something new. You had Shays' Rebellion, so violence had already occurred. They do not want any more violence. They just fought a really big war. They just want to find a solution. So they called the Constitutional Convention. In May of 1787, leaders from 12 states convened or met in Philadelphia. Okay, so on May 17th, May 1787, there was 12 states that came together in Philadelphia to try to find out a solution. There, the delegates to the Constitution Convention had to decide the future of their government. A delegate is a person who represents others at an important meeting. They elected George Washington to lead the convention and began a long, difficult discussion. The delegates decided that the articles were too broken to be saved. Instead, they decided to start over with a new constitution. The fate of the young nation was in their hands. Okay? Let's look at our little graph, our little illustration right here. This is an illustration of the Constitutional Convention was held in Pennsylvania State House in Philadelphia. Today, this building is called Independence Hall. Did you know Rhode Island did not send a delegate to the Constitutional Convention? State leaders didn't want any national government to interfere with their state. So, of all the states that sent somebody, Rhode Island did not send a delegate. They did not want a national constitution. They wanted to keep every state as an individual state. All right, this wraps up lesson 1. So all you have left to do is you need to answer this essential question: what is the purpose of government? So on your worksheet, I need you to answer, what is the purpose of government? Go back into the lesson. I want you to reread some of the things we've highlighted and pointed out and discussed, and tell me what the purpose of government is. Hope you guys have a great day.